my name is Leah Mobley. This is my video reflection for Journal number 5 on student diversity. My practicum placement is at the Arminville Elementary School, and I am in the 3rd grade with Mrs. McConnell. So our class is very diverse. We have Hispanic students, African American students, Caucasian students, and we have students that are of different nationalities than the ones I've just mentioned. As far as I know of what my CT told me, Arminville does not celebrate diversity in a public way. It's valued and it's respected. The students are taught to respect other cultures and to value other cultures the way we value customs of our culture. But she gave me an example of how it was valued in a school she'd worked in previous years, and even though this isn't Arminville, I really thought that this was a cool way to do this. And she said that she worked at a school back up north that to celebrate diversity, that school would have a bulletin board close to the office, and if it was, for example, National Native American Day, then any student of that nationality could come and they got to add stuff on that bulletin board about their heritage, about their nationality, and the whole school would come and view that bulletin board and see what their fellow students got to, their fellow peers got to put and see. So even though Arminville doesn't do that, my CT said she's seen it done that way, and I thought that was really cool, and I wanted to share that. As far as the community of learners, there's one little boy. There's definitely different learners in my classroom, but there's one little boy that I think of when I read these questions, and his name is Sanjay, and he's so smart, he's so bright, but he takes everything almost too literal. He, for example, they were taking his reading test, and Miss McConnell would read it out loud, and the question was to find which one of the choices meant the same as the word silent. Well, choice C had something for him on his screen, and I couldn't remember the exact word that it was. But as Miss McConnell read out the answer choices, answer C, what she read, was completely different than what Sanjay had. And even though he knew the meaning and he knew the answer, he couldn't get past it, and he ended up missing that question on the test. And he can't get past it if he doesn't completely understand it, or if something's different. He just takes everything so literally to where it's almost a stumbling block for him. As far as the curriculum goes, the Wonders is their reading program, and that brings out diversity in many different ways. There's different passages that goes along with this, and they all bring in different cultures, and they talk about different cultures in their reading book. So they're getting that in their reading curriculum. And also another reading curriculum is ReadWorks that my CT uses, and I found passages on that was called Hispanic Population Soars, and I use that as a case study lesson. So it has differentiation for cultural diversity passages on that as well. I haven't seen any personal connections in the classroom made by students' diversity. Although we have diverse students, most of them are too shy to share or speak out. I know my CT said she would love to see that, absolutely, but she doesn't want to make those students feel uncomfortable, put them in a position where they're not comfortable. For adapting instruction, I've said this before, they have separate intervention times. So Arminville takes time out of their day, their schedule, to incorporate time for math intervention and reading intervention. And those classes are differentiated. That one is for the lower groups, one's the medium, and one's this. And it's specific things that they've already gone over, and if some students need more help and if some students advance it, then they don't just keep making the other students continue reviewing this stuff. They let them go to a classroom where they're being challenged more, and then the lower ones who need extra help are getting that extra intervention time in reading and math that they need. So for as far as the techniques, DeArmonville is wonderful in using technology, and the technology that they use is differentiated. They use Stride, which is a program that the state has bought, and that's an example that when the students log in, they're given an adapted test, and based on their scores on that test, that's how their instruction and that's how their activities go with on that program. So it's all based on what they can do. They're challenged in that, but they're not challenged to the point where it's way over their head they can't do it. So that's how I would say their techniques is, because technology is used tremendously, in a tremendous way at DeArmonville for differentiation. And for assessment, I've noticed that with the special education students, that when they take their tests, such as their reading or their math test, they don't take it in the classroom with the other general ed students. The special ed instructor comes and takes them, and they go and take it in the hallway with her or in her office in her classroom, and she'll differentiate whatever is specified in their IEP. So if they need extra time or if they need it read aloud, whatever is best for that student. And that's the most I've seen on diversity. I've enjoyed being in practicum at DeArmonville Elementary, and that's all I have. Thanks. Bye.